in his shot glass that he drinks on camera, there was apple cider vinegar, which made him have that that reaction. And that's a very smart idea. I've never come up with that myself. That's a good one. I'm definitely going to steal that for sure.
Sense memory can only take you so far, and I find that when you take a shot of water, it's like immediately you take the shot of water and you're like, I'm in a scene. So it really helps to sort of give you a little bit of something to feel that burn and to ignite you and kind of keep you going.
Hi, I'm Kate Winslet. This is Variety's Making a Scene. I was executive producer and played the lead role of Mare in Mare of Easttown.
I'm Evan Peters. I play Detective Colin Zabel.
Brad Ingelsby here, the writer.
I'm Craig Zobel, director of Mare of Easttown.
And we are here to talk about the scene in the bar with Mare and a very drunk Zabel.
Well, how do you do there, partner? How are you?
Hey, what are you doing here?
Hey, drinking.
Keith Cunningham, the production designer, had found this very interesting bar that I was pretty excited about, that had kind of a unique shape to it. And it allowed for us to put cameras very far away, but on kind of long lenses, which I felt would help, at least for the beginning of the scene, when it's just Mare by herself, to sort of isolate her as kind of the person not moving in this like big space that's like filled with, people kind of having a different night than she is.
It was quite a crowded space. I remember that. And it was in a real bar that, I have to be honest, like, it smelt like 10 bars in one. So it was quite an uncomfortable set to be on. It was very dark. It was the middle of the day. So we'd step outside and it would be 11 in the morning. And it's that awful moment of, oh my God, bright light.
And so this scene is so important because it's the first time we see a deeper side of Zabel, where he opens up in a way outside of just details of the case, procedural elements and conversations he has with Mare about the case itself.
Get her a 15-year high school reunion over tonight at McGill's. It's really high raters, class of 05. What are you doing? What about you? What's going on?
I was trying to drink away a bad thought.
Zabel was scripted as being much more confident and flirtatious with Mare. And actually, Evan was just brilliant. He said, this doesn't fit. It doesn't feel right. I don't think Zabel has enough confidence to really, put himself out there and kind of woo this woman.
It started out with a Kiss song playing, and I was singing along to that with my friends and shooting pool, and I do this like amazing trick shot. And like I was, working with a pool professional and trying to learn all these shots. And then and then Craig was just like, I don't know if we should. And I was like, it doesn't really match our guy.
The wheels have come off. He's had way too much to drink, can't control himself, is loose of tongue, and talks about his past in this very fragile, vulnerable way.
It's pretty awful. My ex was there. Almost ex-wife. She she called off 2 weeks before the wedding.
Evan's performance, I very quickly saw, like, this is what it's really like being drunk and sort of lost, that I think we've all had in our life at one point or another. Somehow he knew exactly kind of like how to ring that bell, over and over again in a movie set, in a way that I was just really impressed with his skill as an actor.
I woke up one morning and she goes, nope, not in love with you anymore. Okay. Let me put my bagel down.
It was really an opportunity to show that there was something off about this guy. He didn't have everything together. He was a little bit floundering and drinking to sort of block some stuff out, and to me it was, this whole arc is about living with this lie.
After a reunion, after a disappointment, it's returning to him. And I think that's I think that I would say in my experience is pretty normal. It's not every moment of every day you're haunted by the lie, but in certain moments, in quiet moments, alone moments, it comes back to you.
Am I making any fucking sense?
Well, I always imagined I'd be a cop, so life around me I didn't expect to fall apart so spectacularly.
Mare made the shot, but where she's been an imposter is by trying to put up a front in the community of having it all together. And we drop into her life at this exact moment where she's not able to continue that anymore. The illusion is evaporating, and it's because her son died, she's divorced, and now the community that embraced her as a kid really is turning on her over Katie's case, and now it's compounded by Aaron's case.
Mare's story is so completely different to what's going on for Zabel. She's sitting there with 2 bags of heroin, burning a hole in her pocket, and trying to get that balance right between slightly wanting the audience to think, maybe is she going to actually take the drugs herself? Finding that balance and playing completely level, not giving too much away. Yeah, there was a lot to juggle in that scene.
Well, you were a good mother.
No. No, I wasn't.
Committing to playing a character who doesn't get things right all the time and who can sometimes be completely diabolical in terms of how she behaves. It's a step you take. You have to somehow make the character real enough and redeemable enough and relatable enough that the audience will forgive her, hopefully.
I don't know if I want to go back with them. I think I'd rather stay here with you.
I think it just comes out of him. And in the show, the scene when the way that Kate looks at me, I mean, it just hit me. I mean, she's just beautiful, and the way that she looks it was really, really something to see her to look back at me like that. Mare was just the key of this whole thing. She was powerful and almost a muse in a way to get him out of his funk, to be a better detective, a better person, move out of your mom's house.
Mare's been that annoying drunk person herself multiple times in her life. It's just like, Mare, there's nothing she hasn't done and there's nothing she hasn't seen. So it just doesn't faze her. And I loved that about the way that scene was scripted.
Evan was able to, I mean, obviously he's incredible in the scene, but just some of the lines he came up with on his own. The bagel line was Evan's line, which I think is one of the most memorable lines in the series, really, where, we had written in the script, I woke up one morning and she said, nope, not in love with you. But then Evan added, oh, wait, what? Let me put my bagel down. It added that detail that took it from being, it's a decent line into something really memorable.
Even in the most tragic, messed up, crazy moments, there's at least, something funny will happen. Someone will fart or someone will drop something. You can't help but continue to laugh and try to get through it and maintain some sort of semblance of, normalcy.
God love Evan. He was so nervous.
I think he was so in his character and so kind of like in the moment that I don't think he was able to be metering that on his own. And so, he came to me and was like hugging me afterwards, being like, I don't think I got it. I think we missed it. And I was like, trust me, we got it. It worked.
And he's like, no, I think we got it. And I'm like, I got to shadow you, man. I'm terrible. I suck. I don't know what's going on here. I can't do it. And I think looking back at it now, it was really me tapping into this feeling of all these missed opportunities, of failing, of missing the mark, of, oh, I didn't get it. And there was an opportunity. And this was I'm working with Kate Winslet. I was like, oh my God, like this is such a huge opportunity. And I want to do this right.
And I just kept saying to him, just stop all that. You're doing it. Just keep fucking doing it. Go on, go back, do it again. Oh God, okay.
I was just so happy that I was like encouraging him and sort of became the role of like nurturing and being like, we can do this. I was the first base coach, where Kate, partly just because she's Kate and she's amazing and is like so supportive of all of her scene partners, because she was being Mare talking to Zabel, she sort of took the like harder role and being like, come on now, toughen up. We can just do this. Let's just do another take. Quit beating up on yourself.
And he was nailing it take after take. And it wasn't just that he was nailing it. He was bringing something new and nuanced and different. And he was experimenting and he just kept going, I suck, right? I definitely suck. And it was quite hard for me because I wanted to just throw my arms around him and, tell him how much I loved him and how brilliant he was being. But I didn't want him to give up because he was giving such gold every time.
It was funny. It was both like amazing to kind of see the dynamic of their characters playing out like outside of the, when the cameras were rolling, and just sort of like how we were all having so much fun making the scene.
Craig is one of my favorite directors I have ever worked with. He lets you do your thing at first and sort of get your footing. First couple takes are kind of yours. You can go after what you're trying to do, put that on film. And then he'll walk up to you and be like, I really like that thing that you were doing. I go, let's go more into that area. Let's like try to do that. Or he's like, I do this thing sometimes. And it's like, I wonder if we could play around with that. And so he'll give you things to play around with. And sometimes it's amazing. And sometimes it's the key and it unlocks everything. And it just opens it all up and you can go in that direction. And then sometimes he'll be like, yeah, I didn't like that. I was wrong. Let's go the other way.
Evan is a very, very fine, detailed actor. And there's nothing he couldn't do, honestly.
Kate is really, really detail oriented and does these amazing little things that bring so much life and so much realness to it. I mean, in real life, everything is not perfect. There's things that are so messed up and details and, the laptop's dirty or her phone is broken. It's like these amazing little things that bring such a reality to it. So I think Kate had a lot to do with that too. The level of artistry and mastery that she brings to all of her roles is something that I think everybody got on set and was just like, okay, we gotta bring it.
Kate and Evan, they could always take what was written on the page and make it 10 times better. And this scene in particular, in Evan's case, and Kate had many, many examples of making a scene way, way better than it was on the page. But in this case, Evan was able to tap into the scene and add just so much nuance and heartbreak. One of the great line readings, I think, is when he's kind of laughing and then he's talking about, hey, I think about, the gap between what my life I imagined it was and what it is. And he almost starts crying and then he like slowly reins it in. But like, it's just incredible that he was able to go through that in a couple minutes. And that's the great joy of working with actors, who can go as deep and they can just make a scene way better than it actually is.